104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. 3-time Super Bowl champion Bart Oates with us. New York fans only want to talk about 2 of those times, so Bart. 2 times with the Giants, once with San Francisco. One of my favorite memories is I'm watching the game with my family, and the Giants win. The clock goes 0, and the camera finds you just arms straight up in the air. You know, you look like a gladiator. You're covered in, field and blood and whatever. And it's one of those
as
scenes.
It should be.
Right. It's one of those scenes that I have always equated with real football.
That's what you love about football. It's that pure emotion, that what happens and the spontaneity of it. It was just a lot of great memories.
Now this is digging a little bit. You did play professional football for Philadelphia.
I did. Yes, you are digging really deep.
Not the Eagles.
Not the Eagles. I was with the team that won the last football championship in Philadelphia.
It was Stars or something? What
Philadelphia Stars.
Wow,
that's it.
Very good.
No,
it was.
I told you I was a fan. I had once you are embedded into my brain as the symbol of that Super Bowl, I got to dig on you a little bit.
So yeah, that was the people that remember the spring league. We played 3. It only lasted 3 years. I came out the year that it started. So I remember finishing. I played in the Senior Bowl, and then 2 weeks later, I was in Florida in camp, being the starting center for this brand new fledgling spring football league for the Philadelphia Stars.
So when you hear that now there's all these other leagues starting to pop up, like in Albany we've got an AFL team now, the Empire, and the XFL says they're going to be back in 2020. Do you think any of these leagues are going to have what it takes to succeed? I mean, the NFL is so powerful.
Well, I think, the USFL would have survived. It had a really good following. They just tried to be competitive with the NFL. That wasn't the right place. There was a space for it in the spring. As a matter of fact, it's a great time to play football. You go to camp. We'd go to Florida like the baseball teams. We go to camp in Florida or Arizona because it was too cold if you were in a northern to do camp there. And then you start playing when it's getting in March. It's still chilly. And it warms up, so you kind of get in shape for the hot weather. And then you finish up in July when it's the hottest, and you forget the really, really hot stuff. And that's when the NFL starts.
Right.
So it was a great time to play football.
So with that being said, do you feel like, how do I put this the right way, that if you have those spring football leagues like the XFL, they have to move their season to be competitive with this? Or are there some guys who say, I love football, I don't care if I'm 25, 35, 45, you give me a football field and equipment, I'm going to go out there and play no matter what?
To me, I think business-wise, it's better to not try to be competitive, but try to utilize that notoriety the NFL's created and avoid that. A lot of people say, I wouldn't mind watching football in the spring. I'd like to, but I don't have an opportunity to. So, hence spring football. I love arena football too. Love arena football. It's an exciting game.
It is fun, and we're
really
happy to have our
a lot of
team
scoring. Back. You get close to the game. I mean, we used to have a team in New York that I was affiliated with, and just to me, I think a number of the NFL owners have arena football teams.
Well, we have Ron Jaworski, who we tease Jaws because he owns the Albany team and the Philadelphia team. So it's like, just don't play favorites against us just because we're your younger kid.
Wait till both of them get in the championship game.
That's what he says. That's his
Ron's
dream.
actually the chairman of the board of the NFL Alumni Association that I'm president of. So I work with Ron very closely.
It's amazing to me. If I just seen him, he always seems bigger in the room. He always seems like somebody you couldn't talk to. The second you start talking, you're like, that's just a nice guy.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy, right?
The 30 for 30 comes out tonight. The two Bills, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick. What are some of your favorite memories working with those two?
Who's going to win? Listen, they both have such a – obviously Bill Belichick is still creating a legacy, but, tremendous legacy with both of them. Very successful, beyond, I think, anybody's expectations when they first started. But they have a lot in common, but they're very different. I mean, how they coach, how they treat players, their methodologies are very, very different. But it's who they are, and they've been able to grow and become successful at it.
Now, as we look at this Super Bowl, I know like Giants, Niners, there might still be a little animosity towards the Eagles. I don't know. Can you pick the Eagles, or do you have to go Patriots? No.
I can't paint the Eagles.
No? Is that just because they're going to lose, or is it just because how many times you smacked around the field?
Yeah, how many sacks? I mean, Reggie White sacked Phil Simms more than any other quarterback in his carear. And guess who he did that over? Around or through?
Anybody?
That would be me.
Not Bart.
So I have this permanent. I mean, I'm trying, but it's hard because our national office is actually in South Jersey, around and so I deal with Ron a lot, but it's still hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm just a lot of it's like PTSD. It's like very painful memories.
Well, I see you are wearing the Giants Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
Which I mean, that's a really nice, like, classy ring. Do you look at some of the newer rings?
Oh my gosh, how gaudy they are!
Right, they're like flat screen televisions.
I am like so in envy of those.
You want one?
Hey, these are Super Bowl rings. They're supposed to be like gaudy and
and you got the second one.
You can wear these. Sure, you can, but I gotta get back.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't. You probably still take me down.
I can wear these around, but the ones
That's
now,
awesome.
When they don't have room on the fingers, they're like you got to have like with those rings. You need two holes, so you put it on two fingers.
Right, that's
monstrous.
Amazing. Look at that for Bills fans. It's got the score.
They don't make them today to wear.
No,
you can't wear those rings.
No, you put them in a.
We'll put these on 104.5. The team.
Put them in a cabinet or bring them out once in a while. That's amazing. Bart Oates with his two-time champion with the Giants, one time with San Francisco, and now working with PureSportsRecovery.com. You can go to PureSportsRecovery.com and get a free brain health consultation. What made you decide to work with them?
So, as the president of the NFL Alumni Association, we advocate for players. And one of the areas that we really work and do a lot of work on, particularly as the Alumni Association, is working with them on their health and wellness, creating programs that will help them live more productive, happier, and healthier lives. And so Pure Recovery is an organization I was introduced to a couple years ago, and just dedicated to what they do. But they have scientific protocols that will help guys that have neurological damage. They have assessment protocols you do online that will actually tell you where you have issues. And then they have protocols established to help restore you mentally and neurologically. Okay, I'm not a doctor, so I can't get into any of the details, but the prevailing thought out there is that you got brain damage and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, that's not true. It's just like if I go and tear my ACL, right, or I pull a ligament, I sprain an ankle. Well, I don't just say, I sprained my ankle, I can't play. I say, well, I'm going to go through a very robust rehab program, have trainers that put me through, here's these protocols to get me better faster. Well, you do the same thing for the brain. You can change your neurology, you can rewire the brain. And they have these scientific protocols that allow you to do it. And these guys have been doing it. They're good at it. And this is what I bring an awareness that, you don't have to be afraid of playing football because of the neurological issues. Okay? Be smart about it. Just like you're being smart about physically. I don't not play football because I might hurt a knee or I might hurt my shoulder. Because if I do everything I can to prevent it, and then when I do hurt it, I go rehab it. And you do the same thing with the brain. You take off season, these guys should be doing some neurological conditioning, right? So that they fix whatever damage that might be occurring from football or even non-football. I mean, we don't own this. We don't own neurological damage.
Right.
We don't own CTE, as it's called, whatever that might mean. We don't. Right? We're not the only sport that gets concussions. Right? It happens all the time. It happens in other sports, in life, just life generally. But these protocols can help the players be more productive. It can help them mentally, emotionally, because it fixes the brain.
I love it. PureSportsRecovery.com. Bart Oates. Bart, thank you for taking time with us today, and thanks for doing all the good work to help.
All right.
We appreciate you.
All right. Love those guys up in Albany.